President Joe Biden remembers former President Jimmy Carter as an extraordinary leader, statesman, and humanitarian, adding he was a man of great character and courage, hope, and optimism. And tonight, funeral plans are coming together for how the U.S. and the world will honor and say goodbye to the nation's 39th president who passed away over the weekend. White House Correspondent Owen Jensen reports. Owen.
President Joe Biden has scheduled a state funeral for President Jimmy Carter. That'll take place on January 9th at Washington's National Cathedral. President Biden also declared January 9th a national day of mourning across the country. And he ordered flags to fly to half-staff for the next 30 days.
President Joe Biden, while on vacation with his family in the U.S. Virgin Islands, reacts to the passing of President Jimmy Carter, pictured here in the Oval Office in 1981, who at age 100 died peacefully Sunday afternoon in Plains, Georgia, surrounded by his family.
What I find extraordinary about Jimmy Carter, though, is that millions of people all around the world, all over the world, feel they lost a friend as well, even though they never met him. And that's because Jimmy Carter lived a life measured not by words, but by his deeds.
I, Jimmy Carter, do solemnly swear.
Elected in 1976, Carter, a peanut farmer and former Georgia governor, came to power in the wake of the Watergate scandal and Vietnam War, serving just one term and then redefined life after the White House as a global humanitarian, here visiting Africa.
He worked to eradicate disease, not just at home, but around the world. He forged peace, advanced civil rights, human rights, promoted free and fair elections around the world. He built housing for the homeless with his own hands.
Jimmy and Rosalind Carter were married more than 77 years. They co-founded the Carter Center in 1982 and spent the next 40 years traveling the world as peacemakers.
He was a humanitarian. He was a human rights advocate. He was one of the first to turn his back on dictators who were not supporting human rights.
With hard hats and hammers, the Carters, well into their 90s, built homes with Habitat for Humanity. The organization's CEO said President Carter was indelibly connected with Habitat.
But there's no question President Carter getting involved with Mrs. Carter in 1984 is when the world found out about Habitat for Humanity. And their engagement every year for the next 35 years really put Habitat on the map, inspired millions of volunteers. They directly helped over 4,000 families have new or improved homes through those Carter work projects every year.
A self-declared born-again Christian, Carter was also a Baptist deacon who taught Sunday school. Stuart McLaurin is the president of the White House Historical Association. He described the president's strong faith.
During his presidency, particularly the tough days of the hostage crisis with Iran, he would keep his counsel quite privately. He would walk the grounds and walk the halls here at the White House. He would pray. He said he prayed more than he had ever prayed in his entire life.
In a message of condolence, the Vatican's top diplomat says Pope Francis praised Carter's firm commitment to peace and reconciliation. Carter was also the first U.S. president to welcome a pope to the White House, hosting St. John Paul II in 1979. But Carter had theological differences with Catholic teaching on several social issues, including his support for same-sex marriage and for abortion. As president in 1977, Carter did sign into law the Hyde Amendment, which prevents taxpayer dollars from funding abortions.
中方对美国前总统吉米·卡特逝世
Meanwhile, tributes from around the globe, China offering its deep condolences, and in London, 10 Downing Street lowering its flag to pay their respects.
And President-elect Donald Trump moves in here in just 3 weeks from now, called Carter a truly good man who worked hard to make America a better place and gives Carter his, quote, highest respect. At the White House, Owen Jensen, EWTN News Nightly.